Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix Show. My name is Chris Wong. I got a bunch of DC updates for you today, but before we get into that, I have to thank my newest member of the Ping Pong Flix Show. Thank you so much to Sean Gates for joining as a member of the Ping Pong Flix Show family. I think we're only like 4 members away until that random prize drawing, so I can finally give away that Man of Steel limited editions collector's edition box to a lucky winner from those 100 members. So hopefully we get to that before Christmas. But in any case, thank you to you, Sean Gates, and to the rest of the Ping Pong Flix Show family, including the subscribers as well for subscribing in. Now on with the show. The first topic of the day is the Wonder Girl potential actress. This is coming off from Twitter. This has not been verified, but apparently there may have already been talks for the pre-development of the Wonder Girl series. The Kurt Morris says this: Wonder Girl, Brazilian actress Juliana Xavier enchanted Greg Berlanti and may come to play Yara Flor in the series. The show is already in pre-development, and there are meetings to define important details. One of them is the choice of the Latin protagonist, and there were discussions about Brazilian protagonism in the series where names of Brazilian actresses were mentioned. Juliana Xavier enchanted everyone in the meeting unanimously. The actress is known in Brazil for playing roles in some soap operas. Greg Berlanti was at the meetings where he was discussed about shootings in Brazil and other details, including the language of the series. Greg had questions about the series to be released on CW or join the Titans universe on HBO Max. And I don't think it's going to be joining, the Titans on HBO Max. I think they've already verified that it's going to be a CW series, so that's something. But and we already have a Donna Troy Wonder Girl on Titans, so I'm thinking they don't have one yet for the CW universe, so this will be the perfect opportunity for that. And they've already kind of confirmed it. I mean, DC kind of confirmed it themselves that it will definitely be a DC universe. But yeah, I could totally see her being Wonder Girl. I could totally see her being in the CW universe. And I might as well cast a Brazilian actress. It is a Brazilian character. And which country right now is probably one of the biggest DC fans right now? Brazil. And that's why we're having Brazil CXP, and Warner Media is going to show up really big for that one. They have a 4-hour panel, so definitely they need to show that support. They can't just cast any old buddy. They're going to have to going to cast someone in Brazil. And I'm just speculating, what if this is the opportunity to actually say who they're going to cast as Wonder Girl at the DC Brazil CCXP Worlds that is coming up this weekend? I think that would be pretty exciting and a very smart move, in fact, to get one of their own in Brazil to be leading a show, Wonder Girl, right? So I think that would probably be the best move, and I think in marketing-wise would be a smart move and a great move to have someone in Brazil be a lead, the lead protagonist for this show, and it's going to be pretty cool. I think it's going to be really cool and different, and it's about time we get another, not just Donna Troy Wonder Girl, but actually Wonder Girl, right? Essentially the Wonder Woman for TV. We almost had that Wonder Woman TV series with Diana Prince, but now that we still have Wonder Woman in the movie world, this may be a good opportunity to introduce that world to TV and especially to the CW. I mean, I think it's about time. Now talking about other CW shows. CW's The Flash apparently pauses production. Yeah, that's terrible. A team member working on the CW series The Flash in Vancouver has tested positive for COVID-19. So unfortunately, anybody was in close contact with that person, they have to go in isolation, and so they have to pause production. And it looks like it may be a substantial amount of them in order to pause production. I was thinking maybe, okay, it's maybe a crew member here or there. They could still film outside of that. Maybe they can do some B-roll or maybe some things, but no, I think they've actually paused production. So this is a little bit more substantial than that. It's probably one of the main cast members, maybe, or it could just be a staff member. But in any case, this person, it was in contact with a lot of them. So unfortunately, it's on pause, and that's. I hope it still make it to the release date next year. But if that may even be delayed as well, we'll have to wait and see about that. So that's unfortunate for CW's The Flash production. But because we're talking about the CW's Flash, The Flash Season 7 episode titles have been revealed. This is coming from the Flash TV News. These are the titles for Flash Season 7. Episode 1 is going to be called All's Well That Ends Well, and I'm going to probably guess that has something to do with Harrison Wells. 7.2, The Speed of Thought. Does he have to conquer the speed of thought? Is he faster than thoughts? I don't know. Let's see what happens. 7.3 is Mother. I don't know what that's about. Maybe it's his mother. Not sure. 7.4, Central City Strong. And I'm wondering the way it's worded, it's like a gorilla. Maybe Gorilla Grodd comes back. 7.5, Fear Me. That's interesting as well. So those are the 5 episodes titles that have been revealed. Not much telling about them, but you can probably speculate if you want to what story will actually come out of those episode titles. So that's Flash Season 7. Despite having them pause production, they're still going ahead with it, of course. Another CW series that's having their final season, Supergirl Season 6. Apparently, there's a new character. This is actually from an Instagram. Lucifer C22 put this out. New character coming this season, Supergirl. The Nick V. And I don't really actually know this person's name, but he posted that finally got the green light to share. Really excited for the experience ahead. Of course, there's Supergirl next to him, so obviously he's going to be a new character in Supergirl. I don't know if he's going to be just a small character, but if he's going to be a main character, I mean, I don't know. I think having her say flying solo is cool, but I'm wondering if they're gonna get her relationship this season, right? Now I finished up season 3. I'm getting into season 4, and by that point she already kind of lost Mon-El. He went to the future, and that's it with him. So there goes Mon-El. So, and she's pretty much alone. She's been flying solo this whole time. So. And of course, I haven't seen what relationships she's had in season 4 and 5 yet. But some people are speculating that he may be the next person she has a relationship with. And being season 6, I hope it's not rushed and they don't just tie it up really quickly. I think the episodes are much longer, this one, than the last one. I think the last season 5 was like only 19 episodes or so. So there may be some time for that, but it's still kind of rushed. I'd rather have like Mon-El show up, but he's married. So it's like, I don't, like I said, but in season 3, he was still married. So, and Mon-El is the actor who plays Mon-El is her real husband, so it's kind of, I almost want them to get together, but story-wise, I get it, it won't work and things like that, but I don't care. I at least they have a happy ending outside of this show. They're having a kid together, they're happily married together, which is cool, which is awesome. And Melissa Benoist, I don't know if she'll return after season 6. I could see her coming on Superman and Lois, maybe another crossover event and so on, such as, so on and so forth. But being a mom now and the ratings, I think it's pretty much over for her. But Supergirl, I really enjoyed season 1, seasons 1 to 3 so far. I really like the Sam and Rain arc that happened. I'm happy that she and her daughter has a great happy ending. But there are some things they have issues with and so on and so forth. But happily see that it's not being canceled at the end of the season. Like if it's season 5 ending and they said we're canceled, like they never got a chance to really tie up anything or make it a nice little bow tie on it. So I'm happy that they're saying this is the last season, which means they're working on making this season the best season, hopefully, possible. So looking forward to Supergirl season 6, and then it's over for Supergirl, and then we'll go on to probably going to be a season 2 of Superman and Lois if that continues, if that does well. So that's pretty much it for the CW news out there. The next thing is in regards to Titans. Titans Tim Drake apparently has been cast. I think reported before that it was up in the air. They're still looking for someone, but a Vulcan reporter, Villain at Vulain Amrekea says that Titans Tim Drake has been cast and he's biracial. So I'm thinking, at one point, people were saying like she's be Asian, and I think he was going to say he's maybe like part African American. So he's definitely a mixed race in terms of Tim Drake. And I'm just hoping that he may be a little bit of Asian in him. That'd be kind of cool. But in any case, it doesn't really matter what race they are, is as long as they pull the part off. And if they have took this long to cast someone, they probably got someone that they're truly happy with, they're truly prepared to tell a story with, and it is what it is. So can't wait to see who they cast as Tim Drake, and I want to see a little bit more from them. I think I need to see the suits. Like seriously, they have not revealed much after Starfire, and I was thinking that this week they'll probably reveal more. Perhaps they're waiting for Brazil CCXP to be over, and then they can reveal a lot more to that. We'll have to wait and see. But in any case, at least you'll be happy to know that Tim Drake has been finally been cast. They've been shooting already. Like they're already shooting the episodes, and they finally got Tim Drake. So, and maybe now that they have that, they're going to start shooting that, and maybe we'll see some behind the scenes of that as well. So Tim Drake has been cast. All right, now on to the movies. The first movie topic that I want to talk about is Birds of Prey. Rosie Perez, who plays Renee Montoya on Birds of Prey, comments on Birds of Prey and Birds of Prey 2. Although she wasn't too happy with Birds of Prey 1, according to her, Rosie Perez didn't like the ageist jokes in Birds of Prey. What does she mean by that? Well, she recently spoke about Birds of Prey in a new interview with Uprocks. The actress was first asked if she would be interested in returning for Birds of Prey 2, but then went further and shared her biggest gripe with the first film. She said this: I mean, if it happens, sure, in regards to Birds of Prey 2. So she'd be happy to do it. When you said that, the first thing that came to my mind was, oh my God, I have to lose weight and get in shape again. Hopefully there won't be any ageist type of jokes in it as well. Having me called grandma, that was the only thing I was like, guys, really? I was like, would you have the nerve to say that to Helen Mirren in her 50 million action movies? And I gotta say, a lot of people were taken aback by this. I was as well. In fact, when they called her grandma in the movie, but she remained to kick ass, I thought that was actually, it was in a way the movie's compliment to her, that yes, she is older, but look at her kicking ass. There's nothing wrong with older people kicking ass. In fact, that is something that is like a type of obstacle that she went over, being called grandma, yet showing that she can do way more than any younger person that could probably manage in her age. That is, in fact, to me, a compliment, right? I mean, I've been called uncle so many times by teenagers because I look older, but in any case, it is. It's actually complimenting, like Helen Mirren. Yeah, she kicks ass, right? But she is looking like a grandma, and I think that's a compliment in a way. It's kind of like you're striking down a joke, and by showing your actions, showing that you can prove that you're not bound by a age title, right? Like not bound by your age. And like Rocky, he's been called grandpa in the movie, hey grandpa, or something like that, but he kicked butt, man. He went swinging, so I think she's being a little too harsh and being a little too sensitive in that, but I don't know. That's just me. I don't know. What do you guys think about her comments about the age Joe? Do you think she's being ridiculous or she's being fair? Let me know down in the comments below. Anya Taylor-Joy, thoughts on Wonder Woman? Now you're probably like, what? Why do we even care? But I'll get that in a second. This is coming from DC Brazil. I remember when I saw Wonder Woman and the action sequence with only women for the first time in the cinema, I shivered because I realized I had never seen anything like this before. It was very powerful. Now, Anya Taylor-Joy, she plays Magic in that X-Men film, the New Mutants, and she also played a lot of roles in different superhero films too. And not well, it is a superhero film, the Unbreakable series and such. She was, in that, only part 2 and 3, but she was in that M. Night Shyamalan films as well. And so she's not, not exactly naive or innocent to that, so she's not a rookie in that field, in that genre. So I was thinking, looking at her, and she's getting popular because of that Queen's Gambit. Man, would it be cool, just saying, that she look pretty good as Supergirl? I think she could play a younger Kara Zor-El, maybe a different Kara Zor-El, a little bit cold than more loving. But I think she could pull off some of that. And like I said, it's just because of her look and because of her her expertise in being in the genre already. I think the New Mutants didn't do so well, so I don't know if that will continue or not. So if they ever get a chance to pull off that Supergirl movie later on, the one that they announced a long time ago, in which it will probably be my next editorial, I think Anya Taylor-Joy could really pull that off. If they're still going with blonde, I think they may go with something else altogether, maybe a brunette or something like that. It doesn't matter. But just looking at her and seeing, she's in Queen's Gambit, and she worked, was really good in that. And, there's a lot of maybe a little, she's getting more popularity. And I'm wondering, what, she may just work as Kara Zor-El, and it seems like 328 people think that same thing too when I tweet this out. So that's pretty cool. And it just gives more variety, gives more oomph to the DCU, alongside whatever Zack Snyder intends to do with Zack Snyder's Justice League, and maybe even his own Supergirl indeed. But because we're going to talk about the DCU, I want to talk about the future of the DCU on HBO Max. This was an article that Richard Newby did on The Hollywood Reporter. He called it "A Look at HBO Max in the Future of DC's Extended Universe." I'm going to read you this article, and I think it really maybe kind of puts you on a path of how the company may be thinking, right? Because the companies, the studios, they read the Hollywood Reporter, they read these bigger trades. And if this is an opinion of one of a reporter, it could actually, there's maybe something there that actually is happening over on Warner Brothers' side. So he said this, in a move with that shattered expectations and the traditional theatrical release model, Warner Brothers announced Wednesday that it will be simultaneously releasing Wonder Woman 1984 in theaters and on HBO Max in US for 1 month, beginning on Christmas Day. So it goes a little detail about that move that I reported on for a while. And yes, it's coming out in America. December 25th, we're getting to see Wonder Woman 1984 on HBO Max. There will be certainly plenty of conversations to come about what this new release strategy means in terms of the film's monetary goals and whether future releases will follow this format. But for now, it's becoming clear that the future of HBO Max is uniquely tied to the future of the DC Extended Universe, which opens up numerous possibilities and a few challenges. HBO Max was always going to be a hub for DC Comics content from the beginning, and its effect on the streaming service DC Universe was almost immediate, with much of the service's original content moving to HBO Max, while DC Universe reshapes its identity. But beyond series like Doom Patrol and Titans and classic films like Superman 1978 and Batman 1989, HBO Max is becoming increasingly important to the future of the DCEU. Following the announcement earlier this year that Zack Snyder would have the opportunity to finish his cut of Justice League and release it on HBO Max in 2021, fans began speculating about whether the franchise that began with Man of Steel could continue in this format. On the television side of things, Matt Reeves' The Batman and James Gunn's The Suicide Squad are both set to receive HBO Max spinoffs with series inspired by Gotham, Central, and Peacemaker, respectively. This is not unlike what Disney is doing with Star Wars and Marvel series on Disney Plus, Mandalorian. But the release of Wonder Woman 1984 and Zack Snyder's Justice League on HBO Max could signal to HBO Max subscribers that streaming films are an equally important asset to building the DCEU, even if they weren't originally intended to be released in that format. This is not to suggest that theaters are no longer a necessary part of the movie watching or franchise building, but rather looking realistically at a future that will be shaped by this pandemic even after it's been controlled. There are certain restraints that come with the theatrical releases, and we've seen numerous would-be franchises die on the vine and despite a vocal, enthusiastic fan base. Okay, so they kind of go into a little bit about the movies and how like Birds of Prey made 201 million on an 82 million budget, and so there are some movies that you can pick and choose to be on streaming, and you can pick and choose to be a big headliner. Like Batman, we're probably sticking at a theatrical headliner, but something like he suggests that Birds of Prey would have received a different narrative of success as an HBO Max release. So imagine if Birds of Prey was on HBO Max instead, maybe even a series instead, it could have actually worked out better on HBO Max rather than a theatrical release. So that's what that whole paragraph is trying to say in terms of that. Not every character can have the success of Batman on film, and that may become a guiding force for what Warner Media chooses to release and how it chooses to release it. But, okay, when you look at the MCU, even with the brand recognition and ability to take characters like Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man and turn them into viable theatrical properties, there is a reason characters like She-Hulk, Moon Knight, and Hawkeye are debuting in Disney Plus series rather than solo films. So not only Warner Bros. Is probably going to look at that, but Disney is already doing that. They're already looking at what to choose, what to put on their streaming, and what to put in theaters. So they're already doing that. And in DC's case, there's a reason why we're getting a Peacemaker series rather than a Peacemaker movie. It's not a question of equality, but of meeting the fans where they are at and on platforms where fan favorite characters and filmmakers are most likely to succeed. So they have to think of that in business. It is a business. Wonder Woman, of course, would have no problem with recognition should 2020 have been like any other year. But because, of COVID, of course, they had to do that. So her film going to HBO Max alongside theaters isn't a knock on the character's popularity, rather a sign of the times. But in putting a massive popular film like that on HBO Max and following it up with Zack Snyder's Justice League potentially raises an awareness for what HBO Max has to offer fans of comic book media. A Peacemaker series doesn't seem so out of left field or inessential to a general audience member. If HBO Max has already built a reputation off of essential entries like Wonder Woman 1984. And so similar to the proposed film spin-offs of Aquaman and Wonder Woman, The Trench and The Amazons, respectively, seem like the kind of properties that could easily become events on HBO Max rather than potentially risky ventures as solely theatrical experiences in an incredibly crowded marketplace. And I think that's true because, they're going to take less risks now with this COVID, with this pandemic, especially with the theater situation. Should Wonder Woman 1984 and Zack Snyder's Justice League prove to be successful for HBO Max and help build a brand of trust with viewers, then it seems more likely that we could see an HBO Max film centered on like Journey Smollett's Black Canary, a series focused on the history of ancient Atlantis, or even the 2 sequels to Justice League that would complete Zack Snyder's proposed 5-film arc. In that sense, much like what Disney Plus has built with The Mandalorian, these stories on streaming platforms would feel additive to the theatrical experience, right? So, and I'm going to leave the rest for you to read if you want to go into that, but I had to take out those little moments that I felt like, yes, I think that's where we're headed in terms of DCU's future, not just in theatrical, but they have to be able to extend. So you really would see an extended universe, right? Over on HBO Max is what they're trying to say. And I clearly can see that. I could totally see that happening. Definitely. We're getting more stuff, more content, and the studios will prove less risk. Would that kind of just diminish some of the quality of the thing? Maybe, but maybe not. I think watching Mandalorian, if you guys watch Mandalorian, look at the quality of that ILM, that whole sphere, that thing where they're using, right? It's amazing. It's an amazing technology, and it really does look like an actual Star Wars film. It has that quality to it, and I think shipping with what Zack Snyder can do with $70 million and all those additional photography and what he can put out, I think it's worth to take a gander at and worth to look at. Game of Thrones, such so on and so forth. The future is definitely on streaming. There was no other way around it. It is the future. Like I said before, COVID has just really accelerated the process to go to streaming. So, but this is exciting. We can look forward to a lot more DC content on HBO Max. All right, let's go on with the Ping Pong Flix members questions. Here we go. Like I said, if you want to be able to provide a comment or question on this video and I read it on the next video, please join as a member down below. You also have access to exclusive access things like videos and so on and so forth. So, and also the 100 member random prize drawing as well. All right, now on to the questions and comments from the last Joe Manganiello video. If you haven't had time to check it out, please check it out. Zack P, the universe is always telling us something. I mean, could you really see anyone else playing Deathstroke? Excited for December 25th. Zack Snyder's Justice League released in March, and everything DC's future has coming. Anyone else want to have a hot dog with me and Chris for the Wonder Woman 1884 premiere? I didn't think about that, but you know what? I will have a hot dog on December 25th. Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be awesome. Thank you so much for your comment. Brandon Hall. I recall years ago that Joe Manganiello was close to being announced as the Man of Steel. There was a time I would picture in my head that would have looked like. As much as I appreciate the performance given by Brandon Routh as a branch to the Chris Reeve version, the Big Blue Boy Scout, and I would love to see him able to don the tights again to bring justice to what happened to him, I think Joe would be my Kingdom Come Superman. Oh, that's interesting. You did mention as a response to my comment that anything is possible in the multiverse, and I'm inclined to agree. Though I wouldn't want to see the screens overly saturated with multiple live-action counterparts of certain characters competing with each other. Deathstroke aside, I can visually see him in a one-and-done Kingdom Come telling. Carla Gugino as an older Wonder Woman, Kevin Conroy back as a broken Batman, and John Wesley Shipp as an aged Flash, Zac Efron as a jaded Shazam, and so on, and in a limited series or a feature length of the graphic novel. That has always been my dream film, at least number one of several Elseworlds graphic novels that would do well as one of off films. Hopefully, if enough of us keep putting the ideas out there, they may hear it and kick off branches of these Elseworlds pocket universe within the multiverse. They have a wealth of stories to be adapted by the writers and directors, so much talent to make use of. Well, that's the end of my ramble. Well, that is my hope and dream as well. And like I said, I think when we're talking about all these different possibilities of movies, we're talking about movies and series that will be spread out, right? It's not like they're all going to drop at once, right? So if it's dropped all at once, then yeah, that's confusing as heck. But this is going to be spread out, and within a few months there will be something else, or a year this will be something else. So in our heads, when we're reading it out, like, okay, this is Robert Pattinson's going to be Batman, Ben Affleck's going to be Batman, it sounds like people are going to get confused because it's coming out at the same time, but essentially not. There's a lot of time difference between one that goes out and one that comes out, and also the medium, right? One comes out on HBO Max, the other comes out in theaters. Some people don't have HBO, maybe they don't want to watch it on HBO Max, and they're only watching things in theaters. One comes out on CW, the other one comes on HBO Max. Some people don't want CW. A lot of my colleagues don't want CW, but they want to watch stuff on HBO Max. So it really depends on what your flavor. And if you're trying to explore it all, and you're like a DC fan who wants to capture everything like me, then you will not be confused because you actively are searching for that content. You're actively searching for these different mediums, knowing full well that's not that Batman. They're not connected to that Batman. If you're in the know, then you won't be confused at all. But for the general audience, like I said, they're going to see Robert Pattinson's Batman a year or 6 months away or something. They'll be like, oh, there's another Batman. They don't even care. So it really is for the fans who really need to kind of just pull back and realize that if they're going to do the studio's going to do whatever they're going to do, right? And if you understand that these are multiverses, then that's you. That, just concentrate on your own fan dreams and hopes and all the hype that comes with it, and understanding full well that these aren't always connected to each other. So that's all I have to say about that. But thank you, Brandon Hall, for putting in the comment. George, hi Chris. How about putting a wager on Joel doing a Dungeons and Dragons type of movie with Zack? Zack loves fantasy, and Joel's a massive D&D player. There's absolutely free reign in that realm. Zack could think of absolutely anything. What do you think? I like that. I think that would be pretty cool for Zack to do a fantasy type movie. Yeah, anything is possible. I have no idea what he's going to do. And there's probably different different projects that he could probably work on. But him doing a Dungeons Dragons type movie, that'd be pretty awesome. And I think Joel being part of that would be pretty nuts. I wonder what the rights and rules are for doing a Dungeons Dragons type movie. I guess it could be an original fantasy film if Zack wanted to do that, but in terms of Zack, I think a lot of his films he makes for himself, and so I think a lot of those projects he has to be something that he thinks up, original, and probably going to be bonkers. Like it's going to be something that's not normal, not out of the norm, and different. And if he taps into that, yeah, you could definitely cast any of the people. I mean, he brought Joe back, right? He brought Joe back for Army of the Dead, so there's a little bit of loyalty between all these different actors and actresses who work with him, that they'll come back and says, yeah, if you want me back in it, I'll be back for that. So definitely that could be awesome. David Feldman, this was epic. Affleck, you the bomb as Batman. Thank you so much for checking out my Ben Affleck's editorial, David Feldman. Lego Dinosaur, I believe the Moscow clip in the Wonder Woman trailer is because the movie will take place during the Cold War between USA and Russia. Very good point. It started in 1947 and lasted until the dissolution of the Soviet Union in 1991. So this fits the timeline. Diana turned her back on humanity, having lived through many wars in 100 years since she came to man's world. Very good, very good. Look at that, Lego Dinosaur. Hardboiled Entertainment, Eric Blake. Worth noting that Joe Manganiello was cast to play Soups in George Miller's Justice League project. Was he? No, I thought that was the dude from oh my god, I forgot his name. Catrone. The guy who plays in Shazam right now. The one in the green. I forgot his name, something Catrona. DJ Catrona, I think that he was supposed to play Soups in George Miller's Justice League project. As to projects with Zack, he can't talk about. I'm with you on Batman versus Deathstroke, especially if they go to the miniseries route. Batfleck and Zack as the showrunners, a la Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni with Mandalorian. Oh, that'd be interesting. Yeah. It could be. I mean, that's why I said maybe Zack is going to do it instead of Ben Affleck, maybe. So that'd be kind of cool if he actually does that. An LA noir style for Gotham Knights would be awesome, especially if you're playing Tim Drake. And it's exactly what I'd want for a Superman game, especially if we'd be playing Lois for any significant, of course you would want to play Lois. As long as, unlike LA Noir, the one flaw in that game, it's an open sandbox where she can go around the city and do stuff between cases. Clark and Lois investigating things in some cases, Clark taking care of things, and Superman mode in others, voiced by Henry and Amy, of course. Wow, that would be a dream game for you, absolutely. But I want to comment on that. You can't do things between the case. Come on, Superman saving, lives and whatever. Even the small amounts of saving cats out of a tree, whatever. You could do that in a game. I don't see why not. Doobie, besides Army, Las Vegas, and the Snyder Cut, it's possible Joe is signed on to be in the Norse mythology miniseries. He also will not want to talk about things that could always fall through the cracks. Exactly. So that's also another thing that he could probably potentially voice for. I think that's an animated feature as a series as well, directed by or created with Jay Oliva. So yeah, definitely those are all possibilities. I wonder, Sean Gates, our newest member, I wonder about Linda Carter's role in The Flash. Although she's aged very well and remains a very beautiful woman, it's also true that Diana would age very slowly, if at all. The first season of Linda's show took place in World War II, and then the second and third seasons took place in the 70s, 80s when the show was produced. Like Gal's Diana, Linda didn't age even through decades that had supposedly passed. It wouldn't necessarily make sense for her to have aged 40 years, even if 40 years have passed. Hear me out on this. You're producing this movie. You find a body double who is a good match for 1970s Linda Carter. Do they still make women like that and have Linda do her performance they can face capture? Then, and this is crucial, rather than doing a dodgy digital de-age, You use footage from her TV show to build a deepfake that can be applied to Linda's present-day performance. The result would be a nearly perfect reproduction of 1970s Linda, performed by present-day Linda, and it would be magical. There are loads of YouTube videos out there showing how this can be done. Specifically, check out the video where they deepfaked Robert De Niro into Bob De Niro to fix his weird face in The Irishman. At that point, the only thing that gives away is his granddad Bob. Yeah, that's true. They could definitely de-age her and things like that. But I'm also thinking, since Hippolyta, she's older looking, probably maybe around the same age as Linda, maybe younger, but she's older and she's recognized as older. And it could be that Linda Carter's Wonder Woman is in a different universe. Maybe she's not using much of her powers anymore, and that's why she's aging. There's a lot of different ways it could explain it, or maybe they won't explain it at all. I don't know if anybody would just call that out. I guess the fans would definitely call that out. But for the sake of what probably would just be kind of just a something for the fans, I think that's all it's going to be. It's just a cameo. I don't think it's going to be significant to the story at all. And maybe it's just a flash of something. Maybe they'll even throw footage of the actual Wonder Woman from Linda Carter back in the series. Who knows? But I don't think it will be anything that serious. I would say I'd say it's very small. It will be just more for the sake of just appealing to the nostalgia fans at best, right? But thank you so much for your comment. Mr. Stokes channel. Christmas time at the Stokes household is going to be amazing. Enjoying family time safely. As I said to you before, Chris, the coronavirus virus can suck on eggs. Let the kids enjoy their presents as the day is about them. And then nighttime when I crack open my Jack Daniels Fireball and chill back with my pregnant fiance who is due January 29th. Congratulations, John Stokes. And watch Wonder Woman 84. That's Santa's present to all us DC nerds. LOL. Well, I wonder if Santa Snyder will bring us a new trailer for Zack Snyder's Justice League, as that will blow all of our minds. I might have to crack open a second bottle of whiskey. Ha ha ha. Hope you, Chris, and your family have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, sir. I'm looking forward to seeing the Ping Pong Flix Show get even bigger because your show is SAIT hot, sir. Keep up the good work, Mr. Stokes channel. All right. Thank you so much, John Stokes, for your kind words. And yes, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to you as well. I do hope that Santa will be bringing us Zack Snyder's Justice League, maybe even a David Ayer Suicide Squad announcement. And of course, it's already going to give us Wonder Woman 1984. So it's definitely going to be a nice DC holiday for sure, and that'd be great. So thank you, Santa, for that. Hopefully there's more to come with that, and I hope you all the best as well. All right, well, thank you so much for watching. Like I said, if you absolutely love this daily dose of DC content, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Keep this hot dog light on, and I'll see you next time.